So this is the Blue Steel Daggerboard, post-rock. Right now it's August 15 and we have a new Daggerboard on the way, but it's not going to be ready until next season. So the objective here is to try and put this thing back together for one last series of sailing events this season. Doesn't have to last too long, only has to last a couple of months. So this is not going to be perfect, but it should get us in the water. There are three areas. Down here, where the rock collision occurred. Up here, where the back of the Daggerboard was driven into the trunk case. And up here, where the top of the Daggerboard was shifted. We have a tear here, and we have a crush here. And my thought is to disassemble, explore, maybe build some kind of a longitudinal structure that will hold this in a better shape. I'm going to start with the easy, just to chicken out. Blue steel, like all Farrier F-32 Trimarans, requires the removal of the mast before the Daggerboard can come out, because the Daggerboard trunk serves as a compression post for the entire mast. Here we are affixing some lines and shivs to the bow of the boat that go to the gin pole that allow us to lower the mast in a controlled fashion. We always run two lines, port and starboard, with one person on each winch and a safety. That allows us to lower it slowly. We usually have one spotter that makes sure the lines get caught in the gin pole and make sure that the mast rests in the cradle when it reaches a near horizontal position. It's a little piece that allows the mast to be captured on the bow pulpit. We're removing the base of the mast along with the mast raising hardware and resting the mast on the boat while we work on repairing the Daggerboard. The Daggerboard is good and stuck. It's deformed in a couple of ways. Some of the crushing actually widened the Daggerboard, making it fit very, very tightly in its case. It took a little bit of manipulation in terms of rocking the Daggerboard fore and aft while pulling up to release it from the trunk. You can see the red and blue control lines that control the lift and descent of the Daggerboard. The damage to the tip of the Daggerboard is pretty obvious, as is the damage to the trailing edge. What is a little more subtle is the damage to the area of the Daggerboard that contains it within the trunk and prevents side-to-side and fore and aft motion. Here I am removing the HDPE that allows the board to slide up and down in the trunk. And removing the damaged tip. It takes a pretty strong constitution to cut apart your boat. So my plan is to clean this up a little bit, get a decent edge, glue some foam block to it, rough shape it. I'm going to then take out some material here and carbon fiber the entire assembly together. Again, it doesn't have to last long, just has to get us through the rest of the season. My original plan was to split this portion of the daggerboard. Turns out that wasn't necessary.
So you just cut it off?
I think so.
What if there's something actually going up and down here?
Well, you'll find it. Why don't you cut it from the outside in?
There's a longitudinal member of rigid foam that is running up and down. I'm actually cutting through this right now and cutting out the sections that have been crushed. You can see there's some distortion as they've expanded outward. Kind of a gut-wrenching moment of pulling the daggerboard into two pieces. Recording some measurements of the width. So I think I have a plan. I do have to extend the structure that I just cut. And I think what I'm going to try and do is drill with a hole saw down the length, seeing if I can make a hole in this thing. And then I'm going to build a carbon fiber tube to insert as far down as I can go. It'll extend out, and then I'll just slap the sides on it. 1, 2. In a perfect world, I would have built a jig to ensure that the hole lined up perfectly with the foil. All in all, it worked pretty well. Hardest part of this adventure was removing the debris from the hole after cutting. The black tube is just a piece of PVC that I've been using for measurement and reference.